Hello friends, welcome to my new data structures and algorithm in Java tutorial series video. Friends, in this tutorial we will discuss how to insert node at the beginning of a doubly linked list in Java. So friends, let's suppose we are given a doubly linked list having 4 nodes, say 1, 10, 15 and 65. So here you see head points to the first node and tail points to the last node. And if we want to insert a node at the beginning of doubly linked list, we usually manipulate the head pointer, and in that case tail pointer doesn't play any much role. The only case where tail points comes into picture when the list is empty. So when the list is empty, usually head and tail both points to null, and when we want to insert a node at the beginning of doubly linked list, therefore after its insertion the doubly linked list has only one node, so therefore head and tail both points to that node. So we need to consider that case. So in the algorithm, if you see, if the list is empty, then the tail pointer comes into picture. So we'll see the demonstration of this algorithm in next slide. So friends, below is the algorithm to insert a node into a doubly linked list at the beginning. So let's see the demo of this algorithm. So currently if you see, then in doubly linked list we have this head node and tail node. So the head points to the first node and the tail points to the last node. So currently the list is empty, therefore head and tail points to null. And let's say we want to insert a node having a value 1. So first we'll create a new node and we'll assign the value to it. The new node variable will point to a node which has data as 1 and whose next and previous points to null. Moving ahead, we'll check whether doubly linked list is empty or not. So currently as head and tail points to null, so list is empty. Therefore the condition in if statement comes out to be true. And in order to insert this new node at the beginning of a doubly linked list, we'll first assign the value of new node to tail. So currently tail points to null. So after this statement, it will point to the node to which the new node points. So here if you see, new node next points to null. Therefore we'll assign the value of head to new node's next pointer. So here head points to null. Therefore new node next will also point to null. Moving ahead, and then we'll simply assign new node's value to head. So as head points to null, we'll simply now make it point to the new node. So here as list was empty, so after insertion of this new node, both tail and head will point to it because this is the only node in the doubly linked list. Now let's say we want to insert a node having a value 10 into a doubly linked list having the first node as 1. So here first we'll create a new list node having the value as 10. So this would look something like this, that new node points to a list node having the data as 10. Now we'll check whether doubly linked list is empty or not. So currently it's not empty because head and tail is pointing to the list node having data as 1. Therefore the condition in if block comes out to be false and the else part will be executed. So as we want to insert this new node at the beginning of this doubly linked list, so in order to insert this new node into the beginning of doubly linked list, we will assign the value of new node to head's previous. So if you see, the head points to the node having value as 1 and its previous points to null. Therefore we'll simply break this pointer and we'll assign this previous pointer to the new node. So it would look something like this. So in the first step, we assigned head previous to the new node. And in order to make it a two-way linked list or a doubly linked list, we need to assign new nodes next to the head. So here we assign the value of head to new nodes next. because in doubly linked list the nodes refer to each other. So the node which comes first refers to other through the next pointer, and the node which comes after refer to first one through the previous pointer. So here in the else part we saw that head.previous referred to new node, and here we saw that new nodes next refer to now the head. So moving ahead, so in the last step we'll simply assign the value of new node to head. So here currently head points to a list node having data as 1, but as we have inserted a new node into the beginning, therefore now head should point to this new node. So friend, this was the algorithm to insert a node into the beginning of doubly linked list. So friends, let's move to Eclipse and see the working code. So friends, in my previous tutorial, I created one class by name doubly linked list. Head of type list node which points to the first node of a doubly linked list, and tail which points to the last node of a doubly linked list, and a length which returns back the actual size of the doubly linked list. Then we also created one inner class by name list node which had the data, a pointer to next node and a pointer to the previous node. And in my last tutorial I discussed how to print the elements of this doubly linked list in forward and backward direction. So in this tutorial we will write the code to insert a node at the beginning of a doubly linked list. So public void insert first. So this method takes in a integer value. So this integer value will be a part of the new node which we want to insert into doubly linked list. So first we'll create a list node by name new node, and we'll simply assign the value to it. Moving ahead, we'll create a if block, and here we'll provide a condition as is empty. So here we are checking whether the doubly linked list is empty or not. So currently when we initialize this doubly linked list, head and tail points to null and the length is 0. So isEmpty method returns us a boolean value and checks whether the doubly linked list is empty or not. So if the doubly linked list is empty, then first step we'll do is we assign new node value to tail, and in the else part, and if suppose the list is not empty, then we'll assign the new node's value to head's previous. So head previous, and then we'll simply point the new node's next pointer to head. And as the node is inserted, now head will point to the new node. So we'll simply assign the value of new node to head. After we insert the node into the beginning of this doubly linked list, we'll simply increment the length by 1. Now in main method, let's run this code. So first I have created an instance of doubly linked list. So initially head and tail points to null and length is 0. So if I call insert first and I pass value as 1, and then I simply say display it forward and display it backward, and so if I run the code, node is inserted with a value of 1 and we have printed it both forward and backward, so it prints out the same because head and tail points to the first node. And if suppose I insert one more node as insert first and provide a value as 10, and now I run the code. So you see, initially there was one node having data as 1. So when we inserted the new node at the beginning of a doubly linked list, so now it printed out 10 and 1 in the forward direction. So you see that currently head is pointing to 10 and tail is pointing to 1. So friends, in this tutorial we saw how to insert a node into a beginning of a doubly linked list. I hope you liked this video. Please like, comment, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks, have a nice day.